Hello, everyone. Looks like we are live. I'm gonna give it a minute to get people in the room. Welcome, Mario.
Thank you for having me. We're excited to be here.
Awesome. We got some people coming into chat already. That is great. Hello, if you are new to PhotoDay, my name is Lisa Mallis. I am part of the team here at PhotoDay. And we have an exciting presentation for you today. Excited about this. Sorry, I'm just checking some things. And all right, before we get into this, I just want to go over some housekeeping. If we lock up or you lose sound or video at any time, there's a reconnect button at the top of your screen. You can go ahead and refresh. It should bring you right back in the room. For questions, anything PhotoDay related, we have myself or one of my team members will be able to answer you in chat. And we have a lot of information to share with everyone here today. So we are going to hold the level up questions until the very end. But feel free to park your questions in the chat as we go. We got a lot of hellos coming in right now. Wow. All right, well, let's, while we get settled in here, looks like we got about half the attendees in the room. So while we get settled in, we have a special video we are going to play for you and open this up. Before I do that, the first 25 of you who registered and are attending today are going to win that prize. Expect an email from Ashley after this webinar with a follow-up. We're going to need to collect your addresses so we can mail you that prize. So thank you for attending today, guys. And I am going to go ahead and kick off this video, and we will be right back. So let's make sure I get the right video first, right?
Hi, I'm Tom Muñoz, and today is Picture Day. And we're really excited to share with you a few things that have made a huge impact in our business. One of the new things this year is the check-in process. So before, we would use barcode scanners to actually ID our students, and now we're using PhotoDay, which uses facial recognition to ID the students. So every time we photograph a student here at this school, we will never need to ID the student again. So secondly, we're actually using an entirely new lighting system that has changed our setup time from 35 to 40 minutes per studio to under 5 minutes.
We are able to accomplish this with Level Up Imaging's custom floor guide that provides a consistent and repeatable quality of light.
And more importantly than just having a faster setup time, we're actually improving the quality of our photography using Level Up Imaging's patented process of light diffusion,
which is achievable using just one light.
So with these new changes, we're actually going to be photographing 1,700 students with just 3 systems.
Hi, I'm Mario Muñoz, and Picture Day went amazing, so we're back in the studio now to go over the business side of School Picture Day. As my brother Tom shared with you, PhotoDay's facial recognition technology is an absolute game changer for the check-in process. However, we feel that the Advanced Pay feature is another game changer. Traditionally, we used to have pre-sale photo packages prior to clients even seeing their pictures. With their new Advanced Pay feature, they pre-purchase credits. Now, after looking at the data, we've realized that our average package has dramatically increased with this new feature. And I'm going to share that with you right now. So as you can see, we averaged over the entire year of 2022 to 2023, $44,062.63 from this particular school, with an average order of $48.26. So this is what's going to blow your mind. After only 2 days of the photos being online this year, we've already achieved almost $41,000 in gross sales. Our prepaid credits that we sold was $21,750. And this is what's crazy. Our average order value has increased to $93.28. That's something that we've never seen ever in any of our schools. And if you check your insights, we see that we have a long way to go still, with only a total of 389 orders from this school, and there's still $13,336 in unused prepaid credits. Looking at this information, I've realized that money spent is money forgotten. So if a parent spends $50 on a credit compared to committing to a package on a photo that they haven't even seen yet, they're much more likely to spend more money after the fact when they've seen their child's photos. And what this data is showing me is that it's not out of the question that this particular school can reach $100,000 in gross sales this year. Another cool thing with the advance pay is when your clients click on the advance pay offer, they need to opt in to receive text messages, which means that when the pictures get posted, you're not only emailing the parents, you're also text messaging those that opted in. The next thing that I'd like to share with you is their built-in automatic email campaign and text messaging service, which will follow up with the clients to continue to place orders throughout the year without you having to do anything. Now, the funny thing is I'm looking at the platform, orders are coming in now as we speak. So our sales are now over 41,000, but I'd like to take you through the marketing channels because you don't just have their auto campaigns, you can actually customize your own flyers for offers. So this is an actual offer that we did for our advance pay. So we custom designed our own image and gave this promotion prior to School Picture Day, which helped our sales. If you don't feel like designing your own flyers, you don't have to. They've already pre-built in custom flyers. So once you publish, the automatic campaigns begin to start. So upon publishing a gallery, you get your first email. 3 days later, 5 days, 7 days, 14, 30. To continue to create as much success for your campaign as possible. And with PhotoDay's marketing structure, we feel that this is going to give us the most chance of having the highest sales that we can possibly have from School Picture Day. So taking a look at these insights, we've had 1,687 unique views, which means people who have clicked into their galleries. Out of that, 300 people have placed their orders, 389 pre-purchase credits. So we have nearly 1,000 clients that can still place an order. Now, when you look at the customer insights, you get to see how many clients opted in to receive text messaging. So out of the entire school, out of the 2,000 subjects, 80% have opted in to receive text messaging and only 20 have opted out, with only 20% of the school to place their final package order so far in 2 days. And on top of that, their user interface is incredible. So the customer experience, I'm going to take you through and show you actually what it looks like to be a client. So my daughter goes to this school, which makes it a little more convenient for you. So going into her actual gallery, as you can see, it's extremely clean. You can favorite a photo. Once you favorite your images, you go to shop. You can select which images you want for a package. One of the things that I really love about PhotoDay is how they've created this feature package system. So you can design which packages you want to be sold first or seen first, and then all of the different options can apply after. So as you go into a package, it's pretty easy to customize. So once you log in, you select your photo. And here's another thing. With PhotoDay's cutting edge technology, they now offer professional skin retouching and background extractions, giving the ability to bounce between different looks and also different options for your clients to purchase. And that is only achievable by providing a beautiful, soft quality of light. And that is what's unique about the LVL Up Imaging's One Light solution. And what we've realized is with the perfect combination of PhotoDay's software, their cutting edge technology, and LVL Up Imaging's quality of light, we can now compete in an industry that we never could have before by focusing on quality and customer service.
Right. And we're back. Wait for your video to come back on. It was so good. I love that video.
Right.
And I think you just did such a great job explaining everything. So we're going to dive in pretty deep now. So I am
Well, I figure after that video, I should just play another video and then just be done. You don't even need to hear me talk. So
yeah, we're done.
But I did prepare a slideshow presentation or a slide deck for you guys. So I'm going to take you through and kind of explain it in a little bit more detail, as well as I know this is being recorded. So, you know, I know there's a lot of information that we put into this presentation. So feel free to come back later and rewatch and freeze the slide to kind of go through and really dive deep into the information that we provided. So, you know, I feel really that this is like a brotherhood or a fraternity as PhotoDay and sharing with you guys things that are working for us and things that have really just the data that we're blown away that we're getting with these things. That's really our goal is to share with you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So.
All right, I'm going to turn off my camera, but I'll be here in the background to support.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I can turn off my camera for this one too. So here, I'll kind of take you through the presentation. So kind of the overview that we're going to cover. I'm going to talk a little bit about us, about who we are, Level Up Imaging, who our family is, a little bit about our mission and why we kind of got started. I'm going to explain to you guys what we call is the universal school photographer system that we created, as well as some of the value propositions such as labor cost savings, sales and participation data, unit cost breakdowns, kind of an ROI, as well as share with you guys what we're about to introduce. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So about us, this is actually my brother and I. We're the founders of Level Up Imaging. A quick bio: we're actually fourth generation in the photographic industry. Our great grandfather was a photographer, and for us, photography isn't just our livelihood. It's our passion. I grew up going to events with my father when I was 7 years old, as did my brothers, and our grandfather taught us lighting and posing and composition. So, this is something that has been a part of our lives from the very beginning, and we've always wanted to make an impact in the industry, and that's kind of where we got started with this company. So, why we started, after decades of being in the photography industry, we originally created this lighting system not to create a business, but it was really more for ourselves. We were trying to grow our business and scale, and we wanted to create the most consistent and repeatable quality of light that we can grow and keep the consistency across the board. So that was really the heart and soul of why we created this, and now we're super excited to be able to share it with you guys. So go ahead. So without further ado, the universal school picture day system. The transformation of picture day, for us, I'm sure that everyone here are all school photographers, obviously. And, when it came to setting up and breaking down, it was such a tedious task for us. And, not just the quality of light and the consistency of having a one light solution. So, as you'll see, and as you saw in the presentation video, with one light and this system, you're able to build it within minutes. Whereas prior to, we were spending an hour to an hour and a half setting up each system. So this is a little bit of, tech information. So as we started this company, we kind of continually engineered and modified until we got the perfect solution of durability, transportability, and we're really excited to announce the Level Up version 2.0, which we created a quick little video here for you guys to kind of see. So Lisa, without further ado, if you want to play that. We are excited to officially introduce the new and improved Level Up System 2.0. Our incredible engineers have reinforced the build for a superior durability and even quicker setup time, and now removable side plates for easy transportation. And on top of that, we are introducing our new universal school photographer system, which consists of a 48-inch diffuser, a 36-inch diffuser, and a 36-inch reflector. And accompanied with our new custom floor guide, this will be the perfect solution for school picture day, sports, and even senior portraits. Cool. All right, so I know it's probably weird not seeing my face as I'm talking, but this makes it much more easy for me. The issue of glass glare. A lot of school photographers, especially ourselves, prior to utilizing this system, always had an issue with glasses. And what we realized, one of the kind of hidden benefits was because of the light source is so large and it's coming from one direction and you don't have multiple strobes giving refraction in the glasses, the glass glare is virtually eliminated. So that was a value proposition that we were really excited to see and wanted to share with you. Another thing, the one light solution for school picture day. Depending on how many strobes you're bringing, one of the issues I would say we had was inconsistency in the strobes actually going off. So if you had a hair light or a fill and they didn't go off, you weren't noticing it, especially if your main light went off. where considering that there's only one light, you know immediately if there wasn't an exposure or not. So, that alone, as well as the ability to multiply how many systems we're able to do now that we're using one light, was an actual value prop that we didn't expect. The issue on training, the whole concept behind the floor guide was to make it so that scaling and training your team became, seamless. Another thing that we didn't realize was the privacy that the system provides. So I don't know if you guys run into this, but when you're at a school and you have students lined up to have their school picture day photos taken, and their classmates are standing behind them watching them take their photos and interfering with the kids' focus, and they're not able to feel comfortable, that affects how you're doing your job, and that ultimately affects the participation rate and your sales. So these are all a few things that we kind of realized that was tremendous as we went on. Another thing is expression sells. So we are now utilizing PhotoDay's check-in process and the speed of our system and the setup time. We are now not exhausted when it comes to taking photos. Our setup time is now completely less than 30 minutes from setting up the cameras to the backgrounds to the lights and everything. So when we found earlier that we would arrive to a school at 6 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning to start setting up multiple systems, by the time the dean comes out or the principal comes out, you're already tired. And one of the most important things that I think as photographers that we need to focus on is expression and connecting with the subjects. And that is something that we're able to now do, as well as taking multiple exposures and multiple expressions, where that is another value that we saw is increasing our participation rate. So kind of going back, I know I've already covered this and we can kind of skip it soon, but the one light solution, the PhotoDay partnership, as well as the fast and easy setup time is one of the things that we're contributing to the success in our data. So here, let me dive a little bit deeper here, and I know you guys can kind of look at it a little closer. But previously with our 4-light studio, we were setting up, our load-in time was 20 minutes between the light stands and the things that we needed to set up. Our camera and laptops, say 20 minutes. And just here on softboxes or umbrellas and building, we were calculating to over 3 hours of total time. Now, depending on the size of your business, if you're scaling and having multiple studios and multiple photographers, that's a labor cost that's drastically increased by our Level Up lighting system, mixed with the ability of being able to take more photos of each student, as well as your employee morale and your team now wanting to connect and wanting to have fun with the subjects. These are all benefits that for us, we didn't expect. Okay, now this is another thing. The PhotoDay partnership with the check-in process. I'm aware that everyone here uses PhotoDay, and I'm not too familiar if everyone is using their facial recognition for the check-in process. But we found by using their check-in process, we are able to photograph more students in less time because they're not checking in or getting barcodes or going to a laptop. So that in itself was incredible. Another thing that we saw with PhotoDay's marketing campaigns is the fear of having to worry about marketing and following up to have and to take advantage of the sales is gone. They kind of taken over the entire process for us. And that was something for us that we really loved. I'll be honest, this year we used the advance pay for the first time. And I wasn't completely sure how it was going to go. And, my fear was, our past students are used to pre-ordering packages and how are they going to adapt? And we were blown away with how simple the process was and the psychology behind it. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide, and I'll kind of go into a little more detail. So with our advance pay, it was very clear. We created an email that you can customize for the school, and you can I don't know how many people are using this, but you can create offers with your advance pay. So for us, we created an offer that was free shipping. So with free shipping, you advance pay, you could have $25, $50, $75, or $100. You get to choose whatever amount you want to sell. But what we found was by a parent committing to spending money and not seeing the photo, we got more parents actually participating prior to picture day. So for this particular school that we had in the presentation, we actually pre-sold $21,000 or over $21,000 in advance pay credits before picture day even happened. And with the fact of, you know, the standard psychology of money spent is money forgotten, you know, when that parent looked at their photos and loved the photos, a $79 package was only $29. It wasn't $79. And that's something that we saw was a contributing factor to the drastic increase in our actual AOV, or average order value. You know, so we went from this particular school being at a $48 average purchase to $93, which blew our minds completely. So go ahead next. So again, you know, I know that everyone's using PhotoDay, but before picture day, utilizing the facial recognition, you know, this was a flyer that we actually made and customized throughout the actual the promo campaigns. So we had that at the top, so people would see, you know, free shipping plus a T-shirt. We print T-shirts for all of the students and hand them out anyways, but that just got everyone to participate a little better. I don't recommend spending that much money and doing that, but it's something we did. All right, on picture day, the Capture app. You know, the Capture app is seamless. It's quick. We use these kind of, as you probably saw in the video, these like photo booth style stands. We now are using these stands we got on Amazon that are simple, and the kids check in themselves. You know, so that mixed with the speed and the process is fantastic for us. And then after picture day, obviously the campaigns and the UI and the UX experience from the user interface of PhotoDay, we just are absolutely in love with it. So we're very, very happy. So Lisa's going to kind of take over and explain a little bit here.
Yeah, thank you. So here's some interesting data, and I just wanted to share this. When Mario and I were discussing, like when I first saw the Level Up system, I saw, like, I was a fan right away. One, because it's stupid simple. It's easy, like he said, convenient. It travels nicely. It's easy to set up. And it's really, really hard to mess up lighting, right? It gives that beautiful modern light. And one of the things that we are noticing here at PhotoDay is some data that I wanted to share with you are the percentage of orders that in our system, in all of PhotoDay, that are digital only. And the reason why this is so important is because of the like how you're driving your revenue, where your profit is coming from. Digital only orders have zero cost for you other than the commission you're paying the software, right? So, and other than that, it's zero cost. You don't have a print cost, you don't have a ship cost, anything like that. It expands your profit. So over the last 3 years, and we're going from 2021 till now, because 2020 data is a little wonky with everything that was happening back then. So 2021 till now, the rise of digital only orders, I think it's very important to notice this. One, we know that this is what people want. They want digital only for whatever reason. Maybe it's how they're perceiving the value of an image versus an 8x10. Maybe it's how you guys have them priced. But what we think it is, and what we know it is the variety of images, right? They're just presenting so many different images now, and that's what's so beautiful about the Level Up system, because it allows you to easily create more images, more opportunities for them to buy digital, and digitals expand your profit, right? So back when I was just sharing this information with some team this morning, but our download bundles and our blog posts we released early on in the fall before fall season started, what we saw just looking at that data up until July was that 43% of a studio's gross revenue in PhotoDay is digital only, right? So more orders, and then a big part of your revenue is digital only. That only expands your profit and your bottom dollar, which is really, really great. So it is trending upwards. Here are the percentage of orders that include a digital download. So they're some kind of print or gifting items plus digital downloads. Obviously, people value the digital. So the story here is the more images you can create with the limited time you have, And, as a volume photographer, you don't have a lot of time. So it's important that your process, that your system is allowing you to capture the maximum number of images efficiently and quickly. Like, I'm not talking about poses, we're talking about expression and good images, right? Great images, because it's going to help expand your profits moving in to the next season. So in a world where on paper forms are coming from a proofing model where we used to focus on selling a package first before they saw an image, with PhotoDay, we're selling image first, right? So it just kind of flips your overall opportunity in what you can sell and market your parents, right? Like, so now you're selling images first, not the package A, B, C, D. You want them to buy everything. So the pricing structure and everything has to reflect that. It's going to increase your sales. And I really feel like that's where, Mario, you saw a lot of success with offering those multiple images that are beautiful, they're clean, they're simple, especially in the school environment. That's why your sales are like out of this world.
Okay.
I'm going to bounce it back to you. We're talking about image progression here.
All right, you can see it, skip it. All right, so go ahead and, all right, you can go ahead next there. So image progression, one of the things that I want to talk about here is kind of getting back to the whole idea of, I don't know how many photographers out there are taking one photo of each student. That's how we did. And even with sports, we were doing 2 to 3 photos. And, the ability of capturing more images gets the parents to spend more money. I know the concept seems silly and it's so obvious, but we were I guess we had the mindset of being more efficient and trying to get through picture day and get the kid, make sure that all of the technical aspects were okay. And now our focus is on connecting and getting more expression, getting more variety. I know I'm going to jump around a little bit here, but one of the things that with the advanced pay, and I want to kind of go back to it, we this year are going to make our advanced pay offer be that if you advance pay, you'll be able to go to retake day if you're not happy with your photo. And that's something that as a photographer, you have the ability to say that, especially if you're capturing multiple expressions of your students. So because you're not printing a package for the children and you're taking multiple expressions, if they want to go to retake day and they didn't advance pay and they didn't buy anything, we don't have to have that student retake. So what we are going to do is have the students that advance pay have that ability, which we progress is going to have a dramatic increase on our advance pay participation. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide.
I love that idea, by the way. I'm going to move my camera off. So.
No, you're good. Okay, so the next thing is the concept of the universal school photographer system is we wanted to create one system that was easy and can be used for all different types of school photography. So the only difference between our standard school picture day system and our sports team system is we use 2 strobes to give more of a high key look as you see in these individual photos. So we have a 2-light solution. We'll switch the 36-inch diffuser from being a fill to actually being a kicker, and we bring our secondary strobe in the back. So what we've been utilizing this year is all of our sports are done indoors now. So regardless rain or shine, we're able to photograph, and we're creating these incredible custom cutouts. And using PhotoDay's background extractions, it's flawless. So the combination for us has been something that we're extremely happy with. And our schools are happy as well. So we're going to give you a quick little video to kind of show you what our sports teams look like. And Lisa's going to play the video for us. A little BTS. There you go. All right, so we finished culling the images and we actually uploaded these photos into PhotoDay and had them extracted and color corrected. Now, I'm gonna take you through and show you how simple that process is. So you log into your dashboard and all you need to do is click on services. So once you log into the actual event, this was a makeup day for our particular school, but you'd select post-processing. And from there, you pick if you would like extractions or color correction. We actually picked both. You just click on your selection and upload your photos from your desktop. It's that simple. And I'm going to show you, this is actually one of the students that we are going to look at gallery. Now, this is another amazing thing about PhotoDay. So because we photographed the underclass for this particular school, once you upload these photos and they get extracted, the student's file is already updated and the photos match to that particular family. So once you publish, they're automatically going to get the email. And I'm going to take you through their portal for the client that you get to see what kind of background options they have and how simple that is. So this is their portal. You obviously have the same featured packages as we do on underclass. So if I wanted to select the digital, pick high-res digital file, customize, select your photo. And another cool thing is you get to pick which default image you want to automatically set for the background, as well as giving the parents different background options. For example, this particular school, we photographed their home field. However, if you wanted more of a creative look, we even have that option as well. They can hit confirm, and from that point on, purchase the photo, and they're done. Yep. Okay, so you can go to the next slide. So I saw one of the questions pop up was that your teams specifically asked to not do green screen. We got the same question this year with one of our schools, and what we found was we showed them the difference in how they look and how the variety that the families are going to get to choose from, as well as if a student, and we kind of explained this, if a student is absent on the sports team's group photo day, they're not in the picture. Where now on makeup day, any student that wasn't there, so it all comes into selling to the team and saying, you know, this is how we're doing it. It gives more variety to the families, and as well, we don't have to worry about rescheduling because of weather, as well as we're able to, if a student isn't present on photo day, they come to meet retake day, and we're able to put them into the groups. So once we said that, every single team said, you know what, we're fine. And they looked at the images, and the images honestly speak for themselves, as well as giving the ability of the different backgrounds. You know, sometimes if you have one look and it's the grass, right? You know, how much are the parents going to spend? You know, they'll buy that one photo. Where now with different background options, they can have a creative option. They could have the traditional green. They could, you know, we photographed that particular school's field, so they had their own football field. You know, so there's a lot of different options that we have that we can work with by shooting. You know, we don't shoot on green screen, we shoot on gray, obviously, and utilizing PhotoDay's AI extraction. So, but okay, so going into like our senior portraits, you know, that's another thing that we utilize the level up system for. And I saw someone had a question. What are the white diffusers? So that is our system. So I don't know if that gentleman was not part of the initial video when we came in, but the level up lighting system consists of 2 diffusers. So I'm actually sitting in front of the system right here. So it comes with a 48-inch diffuser as well as a 36-inch diffuser and a 36-inch reflector. And what that does is it allows the same consistent quality of light coming from one direction or 2 directions for sports. But for our underclass, we use one light, as well as with our senior portraits, which you're seeing right here. So the back reflector gives that high key look, and because of you're using one light, the color is not changing. So a lot of you may not know this, but even if you have the same manufacturer of a strobe, each strobe gives off a slightly different color, where because you have one light source, the color is consistent across because it's bouncing around the entire system. Kind of going into the senior portraits, I'm actually going to even go into a little bit about our sales. You know, Lisa mentioned that digitals have become extremely popular. Well, we found the same results in our business. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide, and I'll kind of take you through that. So again, in our studio, we use background extraction, giving more options for sales. You know, the value proposition, one thing that we handle a little differently for our in-studio portraits is we use our level up lighting system, as you see behind us, with a continuous light. So what that has done is it's made the training of our photographers so much simpler because you see what you get compared to a strobe. And we've gotten a lot more creative with it as well. And we have some videos on our website that'll kind of explain this in a little more detail. But even this year, we had 1,200 seniors come through our studio this summer, And the photographer that actually photographed them, this was his first year photographing seniors. And our average purchase rate, mixed with the fact that he did a phenomenal job, as well as the way that we're selling our digitals now, increased over 100%. So let's go to the next slide, and I'm going to kind of take you through and show you that. So this is how we kind of packaged our digital bundles. So we went from a concept of selling a digital file for $100 to saying if you bought 6, you got 30%. If you got 10, you got 40%. If you did 20, you got 50% off. And as you can see, we went from last year selling $191 average to a $59 average. And the purchases are done so quickly and done by the users. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. I hate to see that the prints are becoming not as popular as digitals, but we are seeing people doing both, which kind of blows my mind as well, because you already own the digital file, you can print it yourself, but they'll still add photos as well. So let's go to the next slide. So this is kind of what we recommend for the entire school photography kit for this universal style. A gray background. I know a lot of you already currently have your backgrounds. The only thing that the level up imaging system is providing, or the lighting system, is those diffusers and that floor guide. But we do recommend 2 strobes, which I'm sure everyone has, as well as your background, depending on whatever background you choose. We like to go with a gray background because we use it for our sports, our underclass, and then provide all the different background options. Okay, so this is sample cost breakdown. So the level up lighting system is $2199.97. We offer a couple different options as far as transportation. So each individual unit weighs under 19 pounds in its case. So depending on if you go with the level up soft case or if you prefer the Tenba rolling cases, these are kind of what we recommend. So looking at the return on investment, and this is something that blew all of our minds, combined with PhotoDay, the advanced pay features, and I'm more than happy to explain whoever has any questions using the advanced pay, because I was confused myself at the beginning, but we provided 3 different sample schools to show the math for the ROI on using the level up lighting system partnered with the advanced pay features. Say a small school that's averaging $6,000 in sales, if you increase your participation rate by 35% and then double your average order value as well, you're taking a $6,000 school and turning it into a $16,000 school. Vice versa, looking at a school B that's at a 15 or a 20, the numbers are incredible. So I understand people might sit here and say, well, that's not realistic to have 100% increase on your average order value. I promise you it is. And I attribute that to the fact that the psychology of a sale. It's if you spent this money on advanced pay credits, you're going to spend more just instinctively, especially if the images are great and you're giving variety, and that's what we see across the board, and it's a no-brainer. So, and finally, this is something that we're super excited about. So we've created the Level Up Imaging app to not only answer setup questions, breakdown, speed, pro tips, but also to help onboard and train your staff. One of the most difficult things that I've found for school photographers, especially volume school photographers, is to train their staff and to be consistent. So we decided to kind of take things into our own hands and assist in providing that onboarding process. So the new Level Up Imaging app is actually going to be able to train posing, lighting, setup, breakdowns, camera settings, everything. And it's going to consistently be evolving. So we're super excited about that. And with that, I'd like to open up the floor to questions if anyone has. So I can, yep, there we go.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn off this slide presentation so we can be bigger and everyone can see your beautiful Level Up system behind you as well. So you got lots of questions here. I can circle back on some of them. I'm just gonna start at the top and work backwards. So Casey asked, where did you get the backgrounds for your extracted images? So I think some people were asking if those were PhotoDay backgrounds. But I'll let you answer first.
Sure. So some are PhotoDay backgrounds, as well as, so some of the schools, we actually photographed the field. So I think that is a really great medium to a school that's saying, I want real backgrounds. We want our football team our football field to be the background. say, yeah, we'll do that. We sent a guy out and photographed the football field at the right time of day with clouds, and it was amazing, and that was an option. As well as we photographed different parts of the school, so the idea was keeping their school colors and then providing a lot of different options for them. So each of our sports teams, we try to provide 2 to 3 different background options that are to the same theme. And then we have like one universal, like school themed photo that we have as backgrounds. But, whether using AI or going to the school or using PhotoDay, those are all options. And you just load them up into PhotoDay to have for your families.
Awesome.
Hopefully I answered that right.
I think you did. Yeah, sounded right. I think you got it. It was pretty clear. So for the sports setup, is that a different background that you're using versus the school one, or can you use the same one?
Great question. So typically right here, we have a canvas background. That's just because that's what we use for our senior portraits. However, we are now using all gray. So the gray background is used consistently for our schools, our sports, our underclass, and even our senior portraits as well. So one of the ththings that, I don't know if you noticed in the presentation, so we do 3 different styles of senior portraits. And the reason why is the same concept that I've been kind of preaching this whole time is more pictures, more variety equal more sales. So when our senior portraits, we do tuxedo and drape, we do senior portrait cap and gowns, as well as we do a lifestyle. So we tell our students, come to the office dressed in your personal style, and we shoot them completely on a gray background and do multiple different poses. Then we'll have them change into their tuxedo and drape. And then finally, we'll finish with the cap and gown, because once they put the cap on, they mess up their hair. And then that way we're capturing roughly around 25 different images for them to view, with our goal being that they go with the 20 digital files and spend $1,000.
It's a great goal to have. For advance pay, how are you getting in touch with the parents beforehand for advance pay?
Sure. So there's a few different options. One, the school provides the emails, the roster that has the parents' emails for advance pay. There is different concepts that you can do if your school does not provide the parents' emails, but I believe the majority of schools are providing the emails to the parents. So what we'll do is send out the emails. One of the things that another photographer asked me a question. He's like, well, the school doesn't give me the emails. How can you do this? Well, you could easily create a QR code from that same link, and eventually have that be what the parents would take. Any family that you don't have emails could scan the QR code and go directly into PhotoDay and advance pay that way.
Yeah, you didn't have to use it because you had emails, but we do have a marketing flyer built in. It generates a flyer for each subject, and you can sort them and just print them, and each person gets their own individual flyer. Then you can drop off and then have them go and register, create the account, buy the advance pay, and then you have their email, then you have their mobile number for all the marketing. So and
I think I said it and I think I said this in the initial presentation video, but the genius behind the advance pay isn't even just the advance pay, and it's getting the families to opt in to receive text messaging. I don't know how many of you out there get emails and you get a million emails and you don't even look at them, where you get a text message, you open it. And just instinctively how the advance pay works, to even the question it says, I loved it, because when I read it, I was like, it's like, do you want to receive and see your child's photos? Opt in. Yes. They don't realize they're just opting in to receiving all of the bombardment of marketing till they buy that photo. And you're going to keep on texting them till they buy it. And then after they buy it, then they don't get any more text messages. So that alone for the advance pay feature is incredible. And the texting feature is awesome. So bravo to PhotoDay for coming up with a way that we can text our parents, because that was an idea we had years ago, and none of the schools wanted to allow us the ability to text their parents because it's illegal to text without people opting in, and we couldn't figure out a way to get the parents to opt in. So this is the way. So
yes. I want to ask this question before it gets too buried in the back. It was one of the first questions that came out. How do you handle class photos? I guess it would be the same.
How do we handle class photos?
Yeah, I guess it would be team or group or class photos.
Yeah, so we do our class photos as composites, just as we do our teams. So, and again, and I don't want to keep on saying, you could reference back to our levelupimaging.com, our website, we have a lot of different videos, and we can show you how we even photograph large groups. Like sometimes we won't do a composite if it's going to be like I think we have a dance team that we did a large group and just backed up the diffusers. But a lot of the things we're doing now is composites, and it's quick and it's easy, and we do it this way for multiple reasons, right? Not just because of missing a kid on the group photo day, but being able to photograph each individual and give multiple different expressions in different poses, and then do one pose for the composite. It's seamless. So the answer is we do composites for our groups, but we can also do an actual group as well, but it just depends.
Okay. And then this is a great question. We've talked about this before from Rocky. They photograph quite a bit of special needs students, and they run around and sometimes are very difficult for the staff to control. So he's wondering about like the closed space and how it works for those students.
Sure. Well, what we've seen is for special needs, there's two different, I can touch on this on two different angles, right? The special needs students feel safer that we found being within, and I'll step in this for you and you can see it's enclosed, but it's also the back of it is open, so you don't feel claustrophobic. What it does is it blocks the distractions. So for special needs students, that may have autism or whatnot, they're seeing a lot of things that are distracting them. This is giving you an ability to connect, as well as, what we're utilizing right now is what we do with our seniors, a continuous light source. So what we have is a NAN light I believe it's a NAN light 500, and as a continuous light source. So if you have some children who have a problem with flashes and strobes, you're able to have a consistent light and capture multiple expressions. So I'll kind of walk back for you, so you can kind of see. I don't know if it's losing focus or not, but this is how we have our senior portraits or underclass. And as you can see, I'm not that small, but I don't in no way feel claustrophobic. And then the backside's completely open for these students. So hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah. Thank you. Let me see. I'm going to filter through the next question. We know from Gina, we know that you use continuous light. Do you find that is key for reduced glass glare?
Do we find that the continuous light reduces glass glare?
Yeah, they used the Level Up this year and had more issues with glass glare. So does continuous light do a better job because they're able to see the glare with continuous light versus not continuous light?
So I think that if you were using one strobe and the Level Up system, it would be the dimension, the position that their diffuser was in. So from this universal floor guide that's we actually have currently, that's eliminating the glass glare, whether it's a strobe or whether it's a continuous light. But yes, a continuous light does let you see what you get. However, the position from where we have our universal floor guide eliminates the glass glare.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, this one's from Allison, and she takes her sports photos with feet in the image. However, the final image in the gallery has them cropped out on a background. Do you upload the PNGs in full length, or do you crop them all first to get the feet out so you don't have to have floating kids? How do you do it?
So the way that it works with PhotoDay is we upload the PNGs and you set a background to default. So you can pick whatever default default background that you want them to see first, so the kids are not floating like they are in the only reason why you're seeing the PNG like that is that's the interface for PhotoDay. That's not what the parents are seeing.
Awesome. David, I'm going to answer your question. Use Express Digital Assembly to capture. Does that interface with PhotoDay? We don't have a direct integration, but you can import a data file. If you used another capture method and just map the image name file as the reference photo you want to use, that's what Mario did for the using the yearbook images for a sports job. So he didn't have to recapture every subject again. So you can kind of do the same thing if you're using an alternative capture system to name that image. When you map the image name column, that's their reference photo. And then FaceFind will do the rest when you upload the other images to the gallery. So that works. And you got lots of questions coming in. Tom's here answering questions too. Thanks, Tom.
That's my man. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Kim is looking, how do you provide variety from year to year with this system for schools that you photograph year over year? So, I mean, I guess the variety also is like, you know, the milestone marker, the kid's going through a different grade anyway, right? So that's variety.
Yeah, I mean, for variety, and I don't really understand the question. Like background variety, I mean, we have schools that change the background that you choose from year to year. So what's going to be in the standard school background, we constantly changing the background. So, but I think that's what he meant. Like, how do you change so it's not every year it's gray? But again, we're shooting on a gray background, but we're extracting, and then we're providing whatever background we want for that particular school. So for, say, you know, North Broward, one of our schools, their colors are blue and gold. We'll have a navy blue background be their native background. But for another school, it might be red, it might be gray, you know, and then the school is going to have their yearbook person say, you know what, we want something that's hideous, and they'll do it. So
with the laser beam background.
Exactly.
Yeah, she meant background variety. Yeah, for the sports photography. Yeah, that's what she meant. So, Crystal, I'll answer your question. She wants to know, has the facial recognition been tested with other cultures? I photograph primarily Chinese schools. So yes, yeah, I mean, there's really no issues. So the way it works is that FaceFind will look at an image and then find human and know there's a face on that human. And then it creates like this mathematical equation of their face, like how far apart are their eyes, eyebrows, like it looks at all the markers on their face and creates this mathematical equation. And then it compares that reference photo mathematical equation to the photos that you upload and does the matching. So it doesn't really it doesn't take into account for color. Like, so I get the question a lot, like, what about dancers? They all look the same to me because they're, you know, hair's tied back, slicked back in a bun. Like, so everybody, yeah, they might look the same to you, but the great thing about machine learning is that it doesn't have short-term memory loss, and it sees more detail than we can see. It doesn't like have loss of vision or anything like that. It doesn't have blurry vision. So it's able to identify those little tiny things that we don't see as humans looking at an image. And that's one of the biggest benefits. And that's why Capture and FaceFind is so accurate, because it is using all those different data points on a face and making that mathematical equation. So,
and I want to speak really quickly. So my daughter's school, where she goes to, they have a huge international program. So there's a tremendous amount of Asian children. And, you know, out of, I think there was 2,000 students that we had, I think only 5 mismatched. And it wasn't because of their ethnicity. It was because of how we were capturing the students when they were checking in, which brings me to another thing. Anthony, would you mind grabbing me the tablet and that, right there, yeah. So I want to show you guys how we're checking in now compared to it being a standard tablet that's facing forward, because what we were noticing was when the students were checking in like this, if another student is standing behind them, then it might pick up their face, and you might have multiple students checked in on the same. But with this tablet holder, it's on Amazon for like under $100. You'll actually check in, and it angles up, so the kids are looking down. So you no longer are we having the students actually having an issue with checking in, as well as with our Level Up lighting system. We created a special PhotoDay floor guide that is actually going to show exactly how you would place this, where the teacher would stand. And I'm going to speak to one other concern that I would assume anyone who photographs children who are preschool students would have, and that is, how do you use the capture with little children? And the answer to that is you have the teacher checking in each of those students. So having them standing at the tablet and each student being checked in by the teacher, that's the best way, instead of trying to have a 2-year-old or 3-year-old checking themselves in. So
and asking the teacher brings them down anyway, because they're not going to just give you a bunch of 5-year-olds by yourself.
I'll tell you a quick funny story. So the first time we were using the Capture app with a preschool, you know, the first little girl comes up and she's probably 3 years old, and he said, like, "What, hey, sweetheart, what's your name?" She goes, "Sarah S." I was like, "Okay, what's your last name?" She goes, "I forgot." I was like, "Oh, I forgot." It's like, "Teacher." So we immediately found that the teacher knows their students, and for preschool, that's the answer to the solution. And we created even a floor guide for PhotoDay to where to place the tablet for the students to check in, that puts them off to the side. So you're still keeping the same consistency of the children not making the other kids laugh and the privacy concerns and things like that. So we try to think of everything for this to be as consistent and scalable and simple as possible. So
yeah, I got one more question, and then we're gonna call it, 'cause we've been here almost an hour, and we'll do the rest and follow up through email. But so this was a good question. I didn't want to leave it behind, but do you photograph students facing both directions with just a single light? With headshots, I've found often adults have a preferred side.
So for underclass, we use one light source, and we choose to shoot them the light coming from one direction. Now you can still position them. It's very simple to how like right now I'm using a level up continuous light with a level up background right here. So if I was a man, I would pose him towards the light, or a woman, you could pose her this way. However, there's multiple different utilities that we have. For some spring, we might use 2 strobes, so the 2 diffusers and 2 lights coming for like that high key white look background, which is incredibly, we call it expressions. It's been incredibly successful. But yes, you can move the diffuser from either side, your 48, and where your light source wants to come from. You can request, floor guides to be right key or left key, so depending, but realistically, all you're doing is switching the sides of your main light. So
yeah, awesome. Well, this has been fantastic. Again, I am like your #1 fan. You and Tom have created something pretty amazing here, and it does an amazing job as far as creating those quality images that sell and make us happy here at PhotoDay, because we only make money when you guys make money. So we're kind of directly tied. So this is it's beautiful. It's a beautiful partnership. With the tools that you guys have combined with our tools, I mean, like you said, it's a win-win. Like you can't mess this up, right? It is a win-win. So, I gotta check Q&A. Oh, I was checking Q&A, Roger. So he sent me a thing. So, but yeah. So, yeah. And I think as far as like,
I was just going to say, if anybody has any further questions that didn't get around to it, feel free to shoot us an email. Our website is levelupimaging.com, LVLupimaging.com. And we have a lot of different videos as well there to kind of explain in detail any questions you might have, or concerns, or groups, and how we utilize the system. And if there's any additional questions, feel free to shoot us an email. I'm more than happy to help you guys.
Oh, I totally typed the answer in the Q&A. I was trying to give everybody your website typed here in the chat. I put it in the wrong place. Sorry, guys. But yeah, you'll all get a follow-up email. We'll send you a follow-up video, a recap of everything that you saw today. You'll see the replay of the webinar, or a shortened video that has kind of all the information in the one that you guys can watch. Really excited about this. You guys will have to let us know if you already have a level up system. I'm interested to see what PhotoDay users do and what your results have been. And then, yeah, if you guys do this for spring, it's gonna be crazy. Like the difference in the images and the speed and the efficiency and everything, I'm thinking it's a win-win. I'm so excited to be able to share this today, and your team did an amazing job with all the great videos. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, all you guys get out there, go make some money, and good luck. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Hey guys.
Bye.
Take care.